It's the Riot Podcast. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 15th edition of the show. Isaiah, would you consider yourself much of a sneakerhead?
I'm like the furthest thing
Really?
from a sneakerhead.
You
Yeah.
You usually have kind of snazzy shoes.
I like my kicks,
Uh-huh.
but I'm not like if they have to be a certain. I don't know anything about shoes.
How many pairs do you have?
Of shoes.
Yeah.
That I
you
wear?
routinely wear.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably got like 6 pairs of shoes
Okay. I have like 3, and 1 pair is just for mowing the lawn.
for mowing the lawn.
Yeah, so
Well,
I really have
I
2.
kind of buy sandals in that
Uh-huh.
because I go to the pool every weekend.
Oh, yeah, they count.
And
sure.
then if I count my golf shoes, then I've got like 7.
There you go. How many of your pairs of shoes, again, and now we've established you're not a sneakerhead, but you're still pretty fashionable and you like to look good. How many of your pairs of shoes light up?
0.
0. Yeah, I've noticed that for me too. I don't have any light up shoes.
I don't think that's an adult thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Why not? Why can't it be? How come after you're 7 years old, you're not allowed to have light up shoes anymore? Not only are they, it seems, possibly frowned upon for grown-ups, but they don't even make them. It's not even an option. That's what I want to know.
I feel like it's because as an adult, you're not supposed to do silly things
Why
like
is
have
that
light up
silly?
shoes. It's kind of like as an adult how you're not really supposed to wear neon anymore. But when you're a little kid, everybody loves neon
Uh-huh.
because you're like bright colors and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then once you become an adult, you stop wearing neon.
I just think that a lot of kids get a lot of attention because they have the light up shoes, right? And I think for me, I would love that kind of attention. I would love people to just comment on my shoes all the time. I think it should at least be, maybe they wouldn't be your everyday shoes, but think about how fun it could be to have light up shoes for a few special nights a year to bust those out. When you really want to turn some heads, that'd be a good way to do it to me, I think. I think it should be an option.
Well, then let's go into this too then.
Okay.
How do you feel about like Heelys for adults?
I did have Heelys when I was
So
a
did
little
I.
more grown up.
And you know what color mine? Whoa, grown up. How old?
Well, I don't know. Like I wasn't a child.
Were we like 24?
Sure.
So this was like a year ago.
Yeah. I did. I don't have the Heelys anymore, but they were, you know what? The
I had Heelys when I was like in 4th grade, probably.
They didn't work as well as I wanted them to.
They never did.
But they
no.
do make Heelys for grown-ups.
Do they?
Trust me, I know.
I feel like they would be very. That seems like that would be efficient.
Yeah.
Does it not?
Exactly.
And
they
I feel
seem
like
fun,
I'd be way better at it now.
But do you recall Heelys very uncomfortable?
I don't remember.
It's like you're wearing high heels.
What colors were yours?
Black.
Mine were lime green. See,
Whoa,
neon.
Yeah, neon. That's
Neon.
right. That's right.
Yeah, I feel like for me personally, Heelys now would go a lot longer, like a lot longer way than they did back then.
Yeah, it would just be a quick way to zip around, but also, yet again, I found them quite uncomfortable, and so I'm okay, but I'm not okay with that sacrifice. I'd rather be comfortable than to be able to zip around, but there's no sacrifices that need to be made to have light-up shoes, and so that is why I think I should be able to get them.
I feel like, too, I'm surprised it's more of a thing, because when you think about the people that, like, go to raves and stuff.
Yeah, right?
They wear, like, a lot of neon, like, a lot of, like, light-up stuff. I could imagine them having, like, light-up shoes.
Right.
I mean, I know for a fact they probably sell them.
Maybe. I don't know. Not in any store.
No, you got to get those online. Light-up adult shoes. I got to pay right here for $35 on Amazon.
Picture this. Picture this, right? Where is sneaker culture like the biggest? In basketball, it's huge, right?
Yeah.
Think about the impression. Think about how sales would soar if you saw LeBron James out on the court wearing light-up shoes that were flashing every time he took a step. And you see him, he goes up to make a dunk, and his shoes are like flashing in the video. How cool would that be? You're telling me that's not cool?
It'd be pretty slick.
During the slam dunk competition, if some no-name guy even was wearing light-up shoes, he'd be the talk of the competition.
I wish you could see what I'm looking at right now on Amazon.
So they exist?
Yeah, they do. Mainly just the sole,
Oh.
but they look sweet. Like they're like completely gold on the top,
Uh-huh.
and then the sole is like LED.
Hey. This one's not even that expensive.
They're all like $40.
I guess you could kind of do makeshift shoes, makeshift light-up shoes if you
And
attach some different like LED lights to
You
them.
carry around like a little remote, and you can like change it. You can flash them.
Yeah, it's not
change
like
it
when
to
you're a kid
orange.
and they just light up when you stomp. It's you are in control of when they light up with a little button.
Yep.
That would be. I think it's an idea worth pursuing. I don't know why they're not more popular and more sought after, because I think it'd be a great way to get some people looking your way.
Yeah, you definitely get some eyes wearing these things.
That's right.
They
And
look pretty wild, though.
isn't that what you got to stand out. You got to stand out. And that's one way to do it.
Maybe for your birthday.
Yeah, it's coming up. All right, we got a good podcast today. Useless knowledge in the podcast. Talking about Jennifer Lawrence. We talk about who's more likely in a relationship to say, I love you first. The answer may surprise you. And why it needs to change. And a whole lot more. So enjoy.
I'll see you guys.
Catch you next time.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
It's useless knowledge.
It's time for useless knowledge. I'm going to ask some questions. You guys are going to answer. And if you get it right, you win absolutely nothing.
Nada.
Today, Jennifer Lawrence's birthday. You probably know her.
Congratulations. Yeah.
You probably know her from Hunger Games. She turns 33 years old today. Also goes by Katniss Everdeen.
Of course.
And so your useless knowledge question of the day for you all to text in at 8772 Radio
Right,
U
I'm ready.
is recently it was discovered that Jennifer Lawrence is related to a Marvel Avenger. What superhero does Jennifer call her fifth cousin? Recently it was discovered
I heard what you said.
that Jennifer Lawrence is related to a Marvel Avenger in real life.
Okay.
What
You mean-
superhero does Jennifer call her fifth cousin?
You mean an actor that plays an Avenger?
Recently, it was discovered that Jennifer Lawrence is related to a Marvel Avenger actor, human being, real
Yeah,
person.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that
Like
up.
she could be related to Scarlett Johansson
She could
or
be.
Chris Evans
Uh-huh.
or a myriad of other people.
Yeah. Something tells me it's not any of those.
What superhero does Jennifer call her fifth cousin?
All right. That's crazy.
Do you have any more questions?
No, I just wanted clarity on that. But it's crazy. She just now, I mean, she's 33.
Well, I mean,
Just now discovering she has another cousin.
how many fifth cousins do you know that you have?
Fifth cousin. I thought she had 4 already.
What superhero does Jennifer call her
This is-
fifth cousin? You think that's her fifth cousin of all time?
Yes.
She just
She
found
was
out
counting.
she's got
She
4
had
other
gotten
ones
to
and she's
4.
looking for a fifth
yes,
one.
that's exactly what I thought.
No.
I didn't even know you could have fifth cousins.
Yes, you could have fifth cousins.
All right. Let me think about
Heck,
this.
me and you could be fifth cousins.
Yeah.
You think,
I hope
geez.
not.
She recently found her
hope I'm
third
not-
brother, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
Hope
know.
I'm not related to you. All right. 8772 Radio U. Guess an Avenger actor that could be related to Jennifer Lawrence.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Our useless knowledge question for today is...
Recently, it was discovered that Jennifer Lawrence is related to a Marvel Avenger. What superhero does Jennifer call her fifth cousin?
fifth cousin. And Jennifer Lawrence is, of course, from I don't know where, and so is somebody else. So I'm just going to guess Paul Rudd.
The answer I was looking for there was Jeremy Renner,
Jeremy Renner. They're related.
formerly known as Hawkeye.
Uh-huh.
They just found out in the past, I think, 2 years that they were actually fifth cousins.
What are the odds?
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. They've got good genes.
So now let's get some rapid fire going. What other Hunger Games character does Jennifer Lawrence live next to in real life?
Donald Sutherland.
No! No! We were looking for PETA, which seems pretty obvious.
Oh, yeah.
in
What are
real
the
life.
odds?
I know, incredible. Next question. In 2012, The Hunger Games came in at number 3 on the box office list of the
Ooh.
year. The highest animated movie was Brave at number 7, then followed by Then followed by Madagascar 3 at number 10.
Yeah.
What animated movie that came from a popular children's book came in at number 11?
Paddington Bear?
I was looking for the Lorax.
Wow.
Jennifer's only Oscar is for what 2013 movie?
Oh, it's Silver Linings Playbook. That's a
Very
little more
good.
straightforward.
There you go. All right, follow along again. In 2011, Jennifer Lawrence starred in X-Men First Class, which ended 2011 as the number 13 movie of the year. But the movie that ended up winning Best Animated Film at the Oscars came in at number 20. What was that movie?
Oh, you've lost me. I'm good. Ratatouille.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
The answer I was looking for there was Rango.
No, of course it was Rango. What?
Jennifer's highest score on Rotten Tomatoes came for a movie where she played a character by the name of Ree Dolly. Came in with a 94 score. Came out in 2010. Do you have a guess? I'm looking for a movie name.
Fruitvale Station.
No! No!
I was looking for Winter's Bone.
Oh, I should have known that. Yeah. I don't think she was in Fruitvale Station at all.
I don't think she was either.
Yeah.
But overall, you did pretty well.
Yeah. One out of
what'd you get?
6.
One right?
Yeah.
There you go. Not terrible.
Useless knowledge is getting continually more useless as we go.
Well, that's the point of it. Every day I want it to be a little bit less straightforward.
Yeah, a little less value. These ones you can't even who do you tell these to?
Oh, these answers?
You can't even relay these.
A big Lorax fan?
I couldn't repeat any of these answers back to you.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
The Blind Side came out in 2009, and it's a movie that is still capturing hearts and minds today. Still be found. It's plentiful on the shelves of Goodwills everywhere, and now it's at the center of some controversy. You remember the movie The Blind Side, the story of Michael Oher, a black teenager who bounces around foster homes for a while until he finally meets the Toohey family.
Yes, I remember the movie.
Yep. They turn things around, help him turn things around, teach him how to play football according to the movie, and the rest is history. Everything gets better from there. But now Michael Oher himself, the black man at the center of this movie, he is coming out and saying that that he was duped, basically, in the movie making process, and that he, the biggest part of him being duped in this whole thing, is that the Tooheys, even in the movie, they make it out as if they adopted Michael Oher. The truth is that's not the case, according to Michael Oher. He's never been officially adopted by this family. And furthermore, that he basically signed away without realizing, much of the story rights. So they depicted him in the movie the way that wasn't completely accurate. And it looks like that they tricked him into signing a document that made them his conservators, which of course cost them a bunch of money in the process as well. So what seems like such an inspirational and fun story, fun movie, maybe not as much as we were led to believe.
Yeah, I think from the beginning, people had a lot of questions about this movie.
Yeah.
And so this isn't like super surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like we still just don't know all the facts yet.
Yeah.
Of like what actually happened.
Yeah, because even by his own account now of what he's accusing them of, it sounds like he signed a bunch of stuff. Like, it's not like they just stole money from him. But what he is basically saying is, and if you look into it, you can see where he's coming from, that many times he wasn't represented by the same lawyers they were represented by, but it was their lawyers. And in other words, they would pay for lawyers for him, but they weren't as good as the lawyers he got to look over these contracts and stuff like that. And so he is essentially saying he was signing stuff that he thought was one thing, but was actually another thing. And he's not a lawyer, so how would he know? And so therefore, he's signing stuff away that he doesn't even, that he had no idea what he was doing. And so now this whole story has been told. It's all unraveled, and people have a whole different opinion of him than what is actually true. And some people say that he has his own family now in the equation, as in like a wife and stuff, that are also kind of pushing him to that. It's like, hey, how the heck could you make this whole movie and everything off your life and not get any money out of it?
Yeah, it's crazy that he hasn't got anything in return. I also think it's wild that he's coming out with it now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like back in the day it would have made more sense just because of the fact that now he has so much money.
Yeah.
His career earnings on the NFL were like $35 million.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like back in 2010 when this movie came out, when he was drafted in 2009, the year the movie came out.
Uh-huh.
And so you would think that right then, when he was just coming off of not having a bunch of money from being a college kid, that would be when he was like, am I for real not going to get any money from this movie?
Yeah.
Not like now when he's finished his whole NFL career, unless he spent all of his money.
Yeah. Well, others are that has been addressed in the idea that when he was in the NFL, again, he's not a lawyer, so it wasn't really dawning on him that, oh, where's all this money? Like, he was just too focused on football, supposedly, and that the family was still involved with him at that time. So there could have been money going to them that he wouldn't even realize. But it sounds like they didn't scrape any off of his actual NFL earnings, because that would then the NFL, like once you get the teams involved and stuff like that, they would probably be more likely to notice than the book deals and movie deals and whatever. So at the end of the day, he's still probably got a hefty sum of money, but not all of the money maybe that he's owed, that he could have gotten if he knew what he was getting into.
So he has an extra possibly, $225,000?
Yeah, who knows?
To tack on?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just disappointing. It seems like such a nice story that, maybe some people had questions, but I bet you a lot of moms out there watch this movie and just, they don't want this ruined for them.
We knew that once we saw Sandra Bullock cast and it was too heartfelt, we knew it was a lie the whole time.
That kind of stuff doesn't happen in real life.
No.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
A woman, she's the victim of revenge porn.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. This is serious. She was just awarded $1.2, listen closely, billion. She's a billionaire.
Who's paying her that?
I do want to question that. The woman has not been identified, of course. She just goes by her initials DL in this court case. However, I can tell you about the perpetrator in this situation. His name is Marcus Jamal Jackson, her former boyfriend. And according to this lawsuit, this guy posted intimate, explicit, racy images of his ex, of this woman, while they were dating. He had gotten these pictures and went on to post these pictures on social media, on adult websites. And not only did that, because it's wrong, but I feel like that's a little more commonplace. But I
don't feel like that's commonplace at all.
That's
not commonplace whatsoever.
No, it's not common.
That's against the law.
But like that's one line. But he went further.
That's one line that puts you in jail.
Yeah, he went one line there, but he went further, which is probably why it's the 1.2 billion with a B price tag on his crime, because he went on to share these pictures, sending links to her friends and family to the sites where he had posted these things, which is an outrageous thing to do. It's crazy.
I think the first part's more outrageous than the second.
That he was just posting them at all?
Yeah, that's the craziest part to me. The actual public. Because her friends and family could just find them. They could just come across them.
Uh-huh.
But to post them for the entire world to see is absolutely absurd.
I think it's all dumb. To me, it doesn't surprise me if there's guys out there that get pictures of their girlfriends, and then things go wrong, and they're like, fine, I'll just post them up. I think
Fine, I'll just go to jail.
Yeah, it's a wrong,
She
stupid thing
broke
to
up
do.
with me.
It just doesn't
Arrest me
surprise
now.
me. It doesn't surprise me, but to go to the extra step of sending out these links to people that she knows, that's, I mean, you're total wacko territory. But it also goes further than that because he tapped into this woman's mother's home security system to spy on this woman as well.
He's crazy.
Psycho behavior. And all that leads to $1.2 billion. But here's the thing. You're right. How is this woman actually going to acquire? This guy's not going to make $1 billion in his lifetime. He's already not going to make any now. How is she going to get this? Where does this money come from? What does this even mean?
See, I don't know. I don't even know where that would begin, you know?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
$1.2 billion, he's paying that out. I can't be too sure.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be.
Maybe he has a lot of money.
This has got to be a structured settlement thing. I wonder if she got J.G. Wentworth involved because she probably, if you have $1.2 billion coming your way, I want it now. It's her money and she needs it now. She does. I mean, you can't make everybody who's a victim of revenge porn a billionaire. But then again, the way this guy acted, she kind of deserves it.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
You ever heard of something called the 5-year fizzle?
I'm not familiar.
Kind of sounds fun, doesn't it?
A little fizzle, twizzle fizzle.
I know fizzle is usually a negative, but it's such a fun word. I don't think it deserves better. I wish that fizzle had a positive connotation. But in this case, it definitely does not. The 5-year fizzle is a new term that's being used to describe when your relationship hits the 5-year mark. Because according to a survey from the relationship app Paired, that is the time when relationships are most likely to experience turbulence and angst, where you're most likely to go through some trials and tribulations in your relationship.
We call that a danger zone.
It is. It's a danger zone. That 5-year fizzle, that means that you go through those trials, tribulations, and turbulence, and all of a sudden things might fizzle out between the two of you. What you thought was such a strong relationship for the first 4 years, at year number 5, it could all fizzle out.
How many years have you been married?
Several happy years.
I'm in danger.
Sounds like you're awful close to the fizzle, buddy.
We've passed the 5-year fizzle.
Oh, so you're getting closer to the 7-year itch.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, the 7-year itch, that'd be, we're right around there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's get it figured out.
Fortunately, I have a lotion for that. So,
okay, got it.
Yeah, so we're good. But, the 5-year fizzle, you got to watch out because at 5 years, that's so difficult to me. Because I feel like once you hit the 5-year mark, that's where you've sunk so much into the relationship that you don't want it to end by then, you know? Like 2 years into a relationship, if it all goes south, whatever, that's only 2 years of my life. When you hit 5 years, I feel like you want it to work out even more.
You do?
Yeah. And so that's where you got to watch out. I don't know how do you, I guess I've gone through this. How do you combat the 5-year fizzle?
Well, it says here, some of the best things you guys can do is communicating through conflict.
Oh, not that again.
I mean, these things they're giving you.
Yeah.
Supporting each other's work-life balance and long-term life goals.
Mm-hmm.
Having open conversations about money and trust.
Yeah. You gotta do that earlier on. I don't know what it is about. What do you think it is, though? What is it about the 5-year mark that gets people starting to feel a little fizzly?
People are like, I don't know if I'm in too deep. Am I in too deep?
Yeah. I guess that could be what it is. One person's thinking, 5 years, I've given so much of my life to this. I don't want it to fall apart now. Maybe the other person's thinking, 5 years, I don't know if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And so I don't know if there is a way to combat it.
And then you get to that point too where like you're in the relationship and your partner, you guys are so close that like some of the signs it says here or like you're easily irritated by your partner. They're starting to feel more like a sibling. You feel emotionally disconnected. You don't prioritize spending time together. Essentially, you guys just stop trying. Those are big, big, big red flags.
Yeah. Well, if you can make it to the 5-year fizzle, that's a good start. And if you can make it through the 5-year fizzle, then you know it's meant to be.
I need to get to the 1 year of wonder.
Yeah.
Before I get to the 5-year fizzle.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
In the NFL yesterday, 2 big signings in the AFC East. 2 big running back signings in the AFC East. I want to know which one you think is more important. The New England Patriots signed Nene's favorite player, Ezekiel Elliott, to a 1-year deal. Meanwhile, the New York Jets signed former Vikings running back Dalvin Cook to a 1-year deal. Both of these guys have made Pro Bowls. They're pretty big stars in their own right. Which signing do you think is more important for the upcoming season?
I don't know if either of them matter. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
You don't think either one makes a difference?
I don't think either one even makes a win of a difference. I don't think either team's line of how many games they'll win this season will change today. The Patriots are irrelevant as is. I mean, they're like a 7-win team probably. And I think signing Zeke, I mean, they have Ramondre Stevenson, who's their starting running back. They'll use Zeke as maybe goal line or like as a blocking back. But, I mean, that offense needs weapons. Do I consider Zeke a weapon at this point in his career? I love Zeke. Played for Ohio State. He was grand. But at this point in his career, I don't think that he is moving the needle for me with the Patriots, especially in that division as well. And then Dalvin Cook on the Jets. I think Dalvin Cook is more of a weapon than Zeke is. But I think on the Jets, I think his role will not be as big as his name is right now. Which is going to surprise a lot of people. I think if you don't follow the NFL very closely, his name is obviously much bigger than Breece Hall's, who was the running back for the Jets who got hurt last year. But they have him coming back. He's a young guy in his second year. They're going to want to lean the load on him. And then as well as, Michael Carter's still there. And then obviously they signed Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook's a nice little receiving back. He'll be a good little option for Aaron Rodgers. But at the same time, I don't think that this moves the needle for the Jets either.
I think they're both good signings because they don't cost you much. And at running back, I think it's not important to have one big star, but to have some depth there, a bunch of guys that are pretty good. And now both the Patriots and Jets can both definitely, absolutely say that. So even if one of their premier guys goes down, they've got other solid guys to still lean on, and the running back isn't a total empty space for them. I think it feels like Ezekiel Elliott, he's a bigger name, and it feels like he should be a bigger signing because the Patriots just need some talent. They just don't have a lot of guys that move the needle. But then again, the Jets just add another weapon. Dalvin Cook's definitely a better player at this time of his career, and so you kind of have a 2-headed backfield with him and Breece Hall, which also buys Breece Hall time to get a little more healthy if he's not fully up to speed, and just gives the Jets one more thing. I mean, how do you defend Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to anybody, but especially when you got Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson? I mean, the weapons, they're almost endless.
I wouldn't say endless.
It's almost you start to think, can anybody beat the Jets when they have so much talent?
Can anyone beat the Jets? They aren't even the most talented team in their own division.
They have the best quarterback in the league, and now arguably the best weapons in the league. It's going to be, and when you have the best quarterback throwing the ball to these weapons, becomes even more difficult to. It just elevates them even further.
People that listen to the show might think that you're being serious. That's the wild part.
I
want everyone to know that the Jets don't even have the 5th best weapons in the AFC. They don't even have better weapons than the Browns. The Browns aren't even a top team.
They have, first of all, when you have Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball, then that automatically makes your weapons pretty good.
Like last year, yeah.
And then when you have
with all those weapons,
Pro Bowlers all over the place, and we're not even talking about their defense, This is a team that
The defense is good. I never
poised
questioned that.
to go 17-0 and then run to the Super Bowl. I think we might.
Now we can't even
witness-
talk about sports when you say things like
I think
this.
we might witness history this season.
I don't want to do
I
sports
really do.
segments if you can't do that. You can't do that.
I was thinking 14-3 before, now signing Dalvin Cook 17-0.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
We've heard before, I mean, it's a huge thing. It's been big for years. But we've heard in the past that consuming true crime content, especially if it's the way you like wind down at the end of the day, you flip that on to go to bed or whatever, it's considered potentially harmful to you, potentially harmful and just concerning to many experts that that's the way you would that's the way you would spend your time, right?
I have heard that.
But I have here a psychologist who begs to differ. Her name is Emma Kenny, and she says that it's actually beneficial to your health and to your mind to consume crime and mystery content. She says unfolding or de-stressing during our commute can help support a better work-life balance. If you choose to use like true crime podcasts to get through your commute, that's one way where it can be a positive situation. Also, she says that when you're listening to true crime, when you're listening to these mysteries, it's helping your brain, like basically making your brain work to try to solve the mysteries. It's exercise for your mind.
Like doing a puzzle.
Yeah, kind of. Except this puzzle is all about life and death and gruesome murder. But nevertheless, a puzzle, which helps your mind stay sharp. It gives you something to think about. And it helps you, this kind of stuff that she says, it helps you avoid the cognitive strain that's caused when we restrict our liminal space, where we allow our minds to explore. It helps you stay sharp. It helps you stay on top of things. You buy all this?
I'm indifferent on it.
You're indifferent.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's always something. It's one day it's true crime helps you, next day true crime's gonna kill you, whatever it is. There's so many studies now I can barely keep up with them. But my question is, should we start doing more true crime stuff on the show?
You want us to start doing murders?
I think we should start doing true crime on here.
Oh, talking about it.
Talking about it, because we never talk about true crime on here.
Yeah,
And I
unless
brought
it's
it
in
up-
this context.
I brought it up recently. I said we should start doing some true crime things.
All right.
But also, I don't know if our listeners get down with that. But it's so popular for people with podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
People who drive around all the time love listening to true crime podcasts.
You know what we could do? What do you think about this segment idea? What if we have a segment where we talk about like a murder, like somebody who gets killed? That's what a murder is. And then sometimes it'll be real, something that really happened. Sometimes it'll be one we make up, and people will have to figure out, did we make it up? Did we invent the story of the murder, or was it somebody who actually died?
We'll have to workshop that.
Yeah, because that's like a whole new twist on true crime, because it's like, is it true crime or not?
Is it, how well do you know?
Yeah.
How true is that crime?
Is it true crime? We could call it false crime.
Possibly false.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe true crime.
But then you'd also see how many twisted scenarios we could come up with involving people meeting their demise. But it would be okay because they didn't actually die. It's not a real person.
It's just for the fun of the game.
It's just a game. So I don't see anything wrong with any of this.
Little true crime action on the ride.
And the good news is it would still be exercising your brain because you're still solving a mystery of whether the crime is real or not. But it might not be real.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Or the city or the state, tell us a food item that's synonymous with that area, and we'll see if we can figure out where the food item is from, where you are from. A couple of guesses coming in. Actually, a lot of people texting in. It's a little overwhelming. Let's trade off here, Isaiah. Let's go back and forth because for the ones we haven't gotten people texting back yet, we need to be able to look it up to see where these things are from.
Yeah.
So guess first. I feel like you'll know this one because I think I know this one. Tim texted in Grippo's chips.
Are we looking for a city or a state?
I think this one is city specific. Tim says, I grew up an hour away from this city.
What's that, like Cincinnati? Lexington?
I think it's Cincinnati, yeah.
I think it's Cincy, right?
Based out of Cincinnati.
That's what I thought.
Is Grippo's Chips.
Is that correct, or is that maybe correct?
I'm going to give that correct, yes.
Okay, I'm right.
Yeah,
So I'm right then.
you got it.
I'm 1 for 1.
Uh-huh.
How you like me now?
There you go. All right, now you do one for me.
All right, we've got Corinna.
Okay.
She's got biscuits and gravy, grits, fried okra.
That's super southern. I don't know if it's more specific than that, but if I had to guess one state specifically, I would say that that's a Georgia thing.
You think Georgia?
I'm thinking Georgia.
See, I lean Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, huh?
That's what I lean, but I'm looking it up online now.
Yeah.
And there's no way for me to determine that.
Corinna wasn't specific enough. Corinna, text us back and let us know where that is from. All right. Try this one. Jeanette texted in Vernon's, Kogel hot dogs, and Better Made chips. What's your guess?
Better Made chips. Those sound kind of familiar. Vernon's. I'm not sure.
The Vernon's gave it away for me because that's the ginger ale, right?
Vernon's?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a guy on TikTok I follow that is from the state, this state that gave it away, where I think Vernon's. It's wait, you didn't guess.
I haven't guessed it. Yeah,
you need to guess.
You're about to take my
guess. Give you the answer. You need to
give me like a. I feel like it's like a Midwestern thing.
I'm
gonna go with Pennsylvania. We're doing states here, right?
Sure. It's not Pennsylvania. I looked it up. Kogel hot dogs and Better Made chips are both Michigan things.
I was pretty close. I said Midwest at first.
But Vernon's, I looked it up. The ginger ale I was thinking of is Verner's.
Oh,
so
Verner's.
I don't know if this was a mistype by Jeanette or if I just happened to get Michigan right. But Vernon's is a completely different thing.
How about, I got another one here for you.
All
Ready?
right, let's hear it.
Dave texted in. I have no idea what this is. Maybe you know. I've got Spidey's.
Spidey's, to me, that sounds like an Amish thing, right?
But I have no idea.
It's not even a food item that I've ever heard of. I think that's Amish, which makes me think Pennsylvania for the state for that one.
Incorrect.
From
what I'm Googling online.
What are Spidey's and where do I get them?
It looks like Spidey is a food consisting of marinated meat that is often threaded on his skewers before being grilled and served on a long bread roll or sliced Italian bread. I'm seeing Binghamton, New York.
Well, this
may or may not be correct.
This gives it up. If you had just pronounced it correctly, Dave texted and he said it's Speedy. Then of course I would have known.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. But he says his family is from Binghamton area. And so he says I was close.
Well, Corinna said, good guess, Hudson. But Isaiah was correct. It was Oklahoma for the fried okra.
And we have a follow-up from Jeanette. She did mean Verner's, not Vernon's. And so that is what gave it away, that I did get that right, as Michigan.
These are good ones.
Yeah, I like some of these.
A lot of good ones.
There's some more tough ones. Victor says a goosey soup. You ever heard of that?
I've never heard of that.
What is a goosey soup? I don't know. I don't even know where to guess. That sounds like Japanese to me.
Sounds like another country to me.
Yeah.
I can't be sure.
I'm trying to figure it out right now. He said, Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're going off the board. We're going different countries. That's going to make it way more difficult. You want to do one more?
Yep.
Abraham says green chili that's actually red, served warm with beef in it, specifically shoulder meat. And the name of this chili starts with the state's name. This is the last one we'll do.
It starts with the state's name?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's got to be something cool, like Arizona chili or like Texas chili. We have no idea what the answer is, do we?
We can't find this out unless Abraham lets us know. I tried looking it up. Abraham, you've stumped us. Every state has their own
chili?
Every state has their own chili.
Florida chili.
Oh, we are wrong. I would have never guessed this. Colorado chili.
Colorado chili. I was
Abraham,
close. I said Arizona.
I don't want to insult Colorado but it just sounds like madness. It sounds like a good chili. I'm sure it's fine, but the naming is all madness to me.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Isaiah, if you had to guess, are men or women more likely to say, I love you first in a relationship?
I think the answer here is men. And that reason is because I don't think we would be talking about this as a story.
Oh, you don't think so, huh?
If it wasn't men.
That's all it comes down to.
That's all it comes down to is I think, just because I think that it would be maybe more, like for me, it's not more surprising, but I feel like for people, you would expect it to be girls because they're always supposed to be more in touch with their emotional side.
Yeah.
So you would expect them to be the first ones to say, I love you.
Uh-huh.
But I'm thinking it must be the men if somebody took the time to write an article about this.
It is a study that was done. It's just been published in the Sage Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. And this was done across 7 different countries, it looks like, where they found in this research that, you're right, men were more likely to say, I love you first in a relationship. So now we know the answer of who is more likely to say I love you first. But now what we need to know is why men would say it before women. It says here, men on average would consider saying I love you after 69 days in a relationship, while women wouldn't think about it. It's close until 77 days in the relationship. Now, why would that be?
See, I have like a thought on it of like why I think it might be. Because I feel like maybe the gals are waiting for us to say it first. So then they can say it right away.
Oh, okay. But it says they're not only are men saying it first, but women consider it later than men do.
I wonder why that is.
What could this be? I think, here's one thing I think. I think men, maybe they feel pressure from women. Not that the woman is, they might feel like they need to say it or that's the end of the relationship at a certain point. You know what I mean? Like they need to come out and say it or they don't know, who knows what will happen. So they feel pressured to say it earlier.
Have you ever been in a relationship where the gal has said it to you first?
I don't even know if I remember. I know I had one relationship go wrong because I said it first, but...
Oh, it went off the rails after that?
Yeah, but in my...
no.
I was too early. I jumped the gun. But in other relationships, like me and my wife, I don't know who said it first. It was probably me.
It was you.
Yeah, it was probably me.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like for me, it's always been me.
What about?
It's only been like one time.
What about this, though? Do you think men are more desperate? And so when they finally find a gal, they're like,
man.
I love you.
I love you so much.
I love you and I don't want to let you go.
Don't leave me no matter what you do.
Where the woman's like, yeah, I got options. Do I love you? Maybe. We'll see.
Could it be you? Could it be somebody else?
Give it 77 days. We'll figure it out.
Maybe I'll wake up again tomorrow morning and I'll feel differently.
Yeah. Well, I wish they would dive into that in this study. But now we know men are more likely to say, I love you first.
Maybe we should just chill out on it a little bit.
Yeah.
That way we can get our numbers down, boys.
Yeah, we need to work on this average.
Slow it down.
Take it easy.
And it's so crazy.
Who knows how our fortunes would change?
If you just back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe wait another day. Wait one more week.
Don't seem so eager.
Yeah, come on. Wait one more week and hold off. Let's get these numbers back.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at radiou.com/donate.